Join us. Circle the globe. The planet is your hunting paradise. And one man will show you the world as you've never seen it before. Danger won't stop him. Nature won't break him or prevent him from doing the impossible. Hunting the earth with bow and arrow. Be there to share this adventure. The ultimate journey for the ultimate shot.
In this episode of The Ultimate Shot, we will take part in high mountain hunting of chamois. We are going to climb higher than the clouds to discover a new, dangerous, and at the same time wonderful world. A world where one wrong step can be fatal for the hunter. This is where the chamois feel at home. We will be the very first to follow the jumping devils in the Cantabrian Mountains in Spain with bow and arrow. After which, we will continue searching for the ultimate shot in Macedonia.
This is our first morning. It's July 17th, and we're up early. We're headed up to meet our game guard, and we're going to go up the mountain and look for the chamois in the Cantabrian Mountains here. So it's a 2-day hunt. That's the permit that they give you for here in Spain for this hunt, and so we've got to make the best of it here today, and they say there's lots of chamois, and they say we'll probably get in bow range, and we're gonna leave here at 6:45 and head off and drive about 25 minutes up the mountain, pick up our game guard, drive further up the mountain, and pack in from there.
Cantabrian chamois are hunted in the Cantabrian Mountains, which extend for more than 180 miles across northern Spain, from the western limit of the Pyrenees to the border of Galicia, near the coast of the Cantabrian Sea. This is the smallest of all chamois species that SCI recognizes in Europe and Asia. As we started our climb, we were lucky enough to see 2 chamois looking curiously at us approaching. The white tablecloth of the clouds was already far below us. The chamois that were watching us for a while now obviously recognized the dangerous 2-legged creatures approaching them and were quick to climb to a higher and safer place. It was clear that we were going to climb the mountain before we could get close enough to them for a shot. We had climbed for over an hour, and the mountain was still too far ahead of us. Suddenly, a chamois sprung out of a rock cave above us and graciously, jumping from one rock to another, headed for the mountaintop. It paused at every chance to look curiously at the group of intruders who had dared to climb that high. Then it continued running tirelessly towards the mountain top and soon disappeared behind the rocks. one of my guides noticed a chamois lying among the rocks. If we could climb up for another 50 yards, we would reach my effective range. The chamois greeted us with whistles, certain proof that we had disturbed its comfortable solitude among the rocks. It would be a difficult shot in the changing wind gusts. The strong wind was blowing me sideways, and as I was waiting for it to settle down, the chamois jumped and ran down the rocky slope.
Así, pero hacia el pecho. Es decir, no tiene agarrado atravesado, tiene hacia abajo.
Well, we're the first bow hunters to arrow a Cantabrian chamois, and we came up here this morning. We've seen several. It's just a gorgeous country. Early in the morning, the wind's coming downhill. You know, it's perfect for the wind. This area has seen a lot of hikers, so we're lucky. They just don't see humans and take off. They watch for a little while. So this one, we side-hilled. I was trying not to look at him. My game guard was in front of me watching, and finally he told me to move forward. And as it turned out, the chamois came down from his perch and was getting nervous and trotted downhill, jumped downhill. I put the rangefinder on the first time. He was just over 50 yards, but then he jumped and came down, and I decided to let off my draw and range him again, and it was 63 yards, and there's quite a bit of wind coming down. I gave it a little bit of drift, but and it is downhill. It's down to about 30 degrees, and gave me 63 yards, so that's about where I held, and I hit him, and I hit him in the front shoulder, and he's hit really hard, and he's gone straight downhill. So I really believe we'll get him. If he's not down now, we'll find him and get another shot in him. So he's not going to go uphill, that's for sure. He's gone straight downhill, and that's the good news. So we could have our very first Cantabrian chamois with bow and arrow. It stopped at a foot of a rock. On its way down, the chamois tried to hide inside the cloud curtain. We descended and followed, which turned out to be much more difficult and risky than our climb. When we were approaching the wounded animal, the chamois kept running towards the closest bushes on the foothills. My guide's best friend, the Bavarian mountain hound, scented the wounded animal and led us towards it. Its loud barking guided us in the right direction for the final finishing stop.
Mira, ven aquí. ¡Tú! Arriba, go. Sophie is 11 years old?
Yeah.
11?
Muy bien. Hay que animarla porque si no lo deja. La llama así, ahora cuando hay que animarlo.
Muy bien, Miguel.
Picos de Europa, León, province of León. And the boys are very proud of that. Just a gorgeous piece of real estate here. I mean, some of the most beautiful mountains I've ever hunted in and ever seen. One of the game guards and I side-hilled, and he told me to motion me to go forward. I was afraid to look at the animal, didn't want any eye contact, but eventually he started to move, and I got a distance on him, and I was about to try the shot, and he moved further away. Got the range. He stopped long enough for us to get the shot, and with the wind downhill, it was quite a bit of wind, gave it a little bit of drift, but still shot a little bit to the right, about an inch. But it was a shot that certainly made it incapable of the animal to go uphill. He had to go downhill, and he was hit mortally. But we have our dog, Mira, and Mira is a special breed of dog to track wounded animals, and she tracked him down. So here we have our one-shot kill and our world record Cantabria chamois, and I'd like to thank Marco and his father Giuseppe for having us here and putting up with it, and it was a great experience, and we've got a great trophy. He's about 11 years old. He's really an old male, probably way out of the breeding cycle, and anyway, we got him in the middle of the summer, not in the rut, not in December, and there's snow, and would have made it easier to track him, but we got a great trophy, and we're in a great country, great people, great hotel. Everything's wonderful. It's just a beautiful part of the world that everybody should come and see. Boy, there's lots of beautiful flowers here. Take those back to Christine.
After our successful ultimate shot in Spain and the new world record that you witnessed there, from the smallest chamois, we shall turn our attention to one of the largest subspecies, the Balkan chamois. We will search for the new ultimate shot at over 6,000 feet above sea level in the mountains by the village of Mavrovo.
Tea?
No, thanks.
No tea?
Unlike the vertical rocks of Spain, the Macedonia mountains raised their stature rather smoothly. Yet the distances that the hunter had to walk every day were excruciating. It often happened that an animal that we saw on a mountaintop 1 or 2 miles from us took us 2 to 3 hours to approach. Getting up early and exploring the terrain before the sun rose high in the sky was one of the most important preconditions of that hunt. The higher the sun was, the lesser the chance to see a chamois on the mountaintops. The chamois that was making these throat noises was somewhere close, maybe at the foot of the rocky hill where the hunters were. The problem was that there was another animal calmly walking around the rocky slope across from them, and it would see their movement and raise the alarm. All they could do was wait. When the chamois hid behind the rocks, the hunters could finally look down, right below their feet. The animal returned and prevented them from doing it. As if attracted by the constant call, the chamois started approaching. Soon the animal halved the distance and entered the rifle range. The hunter didn't expect such a gift of fate, but was all too happy to receive it.
Congratulations.
Later in the day, the animals started leaving the mountaintops and the hills where they had spent the night and gathered at the foot of the mountain looking for food and water. Usually the area of their movement is somewhere between 2,500 and 8,000 feet above sea level. The wild chamois is one of the few truly European animals. No other animal can rival its agility and speed in crossing steep terrain. It is virtually unreachable for predators. Not one of their enemies can outrun it. Even the golden eagle can only catch their very young chamois. The secret of their climbing skills is their well-developed vision. However, in order to move safely among the rocks, the chamois needs light. Therefore, the animals spend the night in caves and rocky coves. During the mating period, the males protect their territories and attack the intruders. The battles between chamois are rarely fatal. In most cases, the defeated animal runs away and relinquishes the right over the harem. Unbelievably, sometimes battles erupt between wild chamois and alpine ibex. The outcome is almost always fatal because of the different ways the animals attack. While the alpine ibex attacks standing on its hind legs and hitting downwards, the chamois lowers its head and gores its adversary upwards, trying to reach its belly.
Over there.
Yeah.
The chamois trophies definitely help one earn respect from fellow Capra hunters and friends. In this hunt, everyone proves themselves capable, physically strong, and a hunter with determination. Every herd has a guard. Usually it's the oldest and most experienced female. She watches out for danger while the other animals feed. She alerts them to approaching predators by whistling shrilly. After the danger alert, the chamois quickly form a column and leave the dangerous area. The quick escape requires focusing their whole attention on the choice of terrain for the next step. Nature has given them a special white spot on their rear so that, fog or otherwise, they won't lose sight of the leader in front of them. Unlike the hunter, the cameraman took a real ultimate shot of the chamois disappearing behind the rock. The following morning, we came to the same place, only much earlier. We saw chamois again. It seemed that they were attracted to this area. Soon, the animal that we were waiting for showed up on the mountaintop close to us.
Good boy, huh? Good boy.
This was the finale and the end of our journey across the high mountains in search for the ultimate shot. In the next episode of Ultimate Shot, we will hunt in one of the most pristine environments in North America. We will take you after black bear in the virgin forests of Vancouver Island on the Pacific Northwest. There, along the riverbanks where tens of thousands of salmon end their life's journeys, you will witness dangerous close encounters with hungry black bears. You will feel the adrenaline rush experienced in a standoff between a hunter and a bear standing just 10 meters from each other. What will prevail, the will of the man or the instinct of the wild animal? You will find out in the next Ultimate Shot.